So I wanted to make my own video on how to solve a standard 3x3 Rubik's Cube, although I know there are a few more on YouTube. But I feel like some of the algorithms that they use are hard to remember, and I feel like I have a better way of explaining them, because I'm just a regular guy, not one of these speed Rubik's Cube players or competitors or anything like that. And I have my own way of memorizing them, so I wanted to make my own video. So this is one of those Rubik's Cubes. Actually, this is one that doesn't even have the stickers on there. I really like this one. But I know that most videos start off explaining about the cube, and so I should probably do the same thing. The cube here, a lot of people will explain, and I'm sure you may already know, that these center colors don't move in relation to each other. So if we say green is on top and blue is on the bottom and the yellow and everything like that, I mean, we can do all these different types of movements with the cube, and you're going to find that it's still going to be the same with those. You're going to have the green on the top, the blue on the bottom, and you're going to have these colors around the edge in relation to themselves. Red, no matter what you do, red is always going to be right next to white, and so forth. These corners are always going to be the same also. You can't obviously change them. So this corner always has to be where blue, orange, and yellow intersect. Same with these colors here. As you can imagine, they're set in stone. They don't move in relation to each other. So that's always going to be where the yellow and the blue is. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mix up this cube a little bit more, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so now we have the cube fairly mixed up. And we'll start with white on the top, as is pretty standard, it seems, on a lot of these videos. So the first step in solving the Rubik's Cube is to go ahead and to solve this entire top piece. Now I know this video is going to be pretty standard in relation to the other videos that you're going to see. It's when we get to the algorithms that you're going to see that I have some good ways of remembering those. So we'll just do what's pretty standard here. Start with the white on the top. And we're going to solve for all of these around here. Now the first way to start is to get this cross solved, all white, in relation to the centers here, which I had said earlier don't move. So here we are right here. We're going to solve for this cross. Right there is blue. So we're going to turn this around first to the blue one right here. That you may not have one that's already set up in that position, but if you do, then that's fine. So now these are matched up. Now we're going to look for another one of these edge pieces. They're not going to be a corner like this. They're just going to have two colors. So we're going to look, and here's one right here that is red. Now there are a couple ways to do this. Some people just say to match up the colors and twist up. That's obviously an easy way to do it, but sometimes it's difficult to envision where that has to go. But in this case, you can see that's tied up. If this was over here, just for instance, and you saw that the red was there, we would turn it one time so that the colors would match up. And then, again with the white on top, we're turning up so that now that's in line and this is in line. Now let's have a look. Here's another one that's green. Now this is another way that I solve it. So we bring this green and white. Green is on the other side. So we're going to turn that up right there. And now you can see that we're getting closer. This piece, this white piece, needs to go up there with the white on top. Now the way that I do this, which is a little bit different, is I turn away, then down with the middle piece, then bring it back and up. And a lot of times when you're solving the Rubik's Cube, you're going to notice that it's a similar pattern. Everything is away, put the piece in, and then back up again. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to turn this away, one turn. We're going to get this middle piece and bring this down. And then we're going to bring it back. And now you can see, look, we have this green aligned, and then we're going to bring it back up again. Of course, I had to bring this back down, the middle piece up again. So now that's aligned, this is aligned, and this is aligned. Last piece right here is the orange, which is right here. And once again, there are a lot of people, there's a couple different ways obviously that you can solve this way, but I like my method again, where I go away, bring the middle part down, bring it back in, and bring the middle part back up again. So now we have all of the cross pieces solved, and they all match up here. Now the next step is to get the edge pieces. And the edge pieces are going to go in these specific locations, once again, based on these middle pieces. So there's what they call the optimum location. And the optimum location is to have a piece in the bottom row facing you with the white, the color that you're going to match, facing you. So for instance, this right here is considered the optimum position. This is not, that is not. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. That is. Anything in the bottom row facing you is optimum position. So we're going to look here. There's blue and there's orange. So we're going to move this piece into the piece between the blue and the orange. So we're going to move it one turn, and you'll see now that's right there between the orange and the blue. Now, once again, just like I said before, this common theme you'll see, the away, down, and back up. So watch this. Away, down with the piece where you want it to be, back, and back up. And now that piece is perfectly positioned where it needs to be. So now we're going to try to hunt down another piece in that bottom row. Here's one right here facing us again in what's called the optimum position. Now actually that is perfect. It's right already between the orange and the green. Now of course if it was over here somewhere, we would need to turn it back in there. So we're going to put that right under where it has to go. And again, away, down, in, and back up. Now we have two of those solved. Now we don't have any more. We have one more in the optimum position here. We're going to move this over between the red and the green, which is right here. So one turn, and there we are again. And again, we're going to go away, down, back in, and back up. Now we have 3 of the 4. Now here we go. We have a good one here to demonstrate. This is not in the optimum position, and we need to get it in the optimum position. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring it down to get it into that bottom row where it needs to be. But of course now we can't turn it up there because we would end up screwing up what we've already done here. So what we need to do, we need to turn that one turn away, 2 turns away, somewhere so we're not in this path of where we're going to do this. And here we go. Now you can see we put this back, and now this is in the optimum position. So we're going to bring it over to where it has to go, right in that corner. And again, same thing, away, down, back, and up. So now we have solved the entire top row, and it's in relation with all of these pieces. So the next step in solving the cube is to go ahead and fill in the second row and have both rows complete. Now, in order to do that, we're going to have to get these pieces all solved, these corner pieces. So, by looking at this white and looking underneath is yellow, we know that none of these corner pieces that have any yellow in them should be where they are. So we know that's in the wrong spot, that's in the wrong spot, this is wrong. So what we're looking for, we're looking in the bottom row for anything that does not have yellow in it. So this is a great example right here. Green and red. So what we do to get these where we need to go, we turn these over and get them so that they are in line with where that has to go. Now then what we have to do is we have to look at this color and see where it is in relation. And this is the green side. So what we do is we turn away from the green side. Again, always keep in mind that away, place it, and back up. So that's what we're going to do. Again, we're going to turn now. There's the green, red, away. And then down with the green side, back, and up. And now, what that's done, you can see it's connected these two, but we have to fix it now. Okay, this is part of the second row. Now it's getting, of course, a little bit more complicated. Now what we learned from before, we look at this, it's in the optimum position. It will always be in the optimum position after this move. Away, down, back, and up. And now you're going to see that both of these are solved, which is great. So now we just repeat this procedure for the rest of them. So we're looking for pieces that do not have yellow in them. Here's another one. It's right in the right spot too. It's blue and it's orange. And you can see the orange is on this side. So again, away from the orange side, down with the orange side. When I say down with the orange side, of course I'm talking about this whole face. Back and up. And then, to fix what we've made the mistake, we take our steps from the last moves, away, down, back, and up. So now we have this one solved, and we have this one solved. Now we're going to look again, something with no yellow in the bottom. Here we are, red and blue. We're going to spin this over to the red side. 1, 2 turns, in line with the red. There's the blue. So, away from the blue, down with the blue side, back and up. As always, away, down, back and up. So, again with this, away, down, back and up. If you can remember away, down, back and up, it's pretty good. Now, once again, we have this yellow piece right in here, and we're looking for something that doesn't have any yellow in it. So here we are right here with green and orange. The problem is this is not a good example. So what I'm going to have to do, I want to give you an example of what happens when you don't find one on the bottom row. Okay, so I've made an example here of something that you're going to run into, where you've got these pieces right here that need to be turned, and you're looking in the bottom and there's literally nothing that will work. Everything on the bottom row has the yellow in it. So what we need to do is we need to just simply, because we're already replacing this piece with this move, we need to do that in this example. So for instance right here, this is one of the pieces that we want to use. We actually want to flip this. So what we need to do, we need to get this down here. And the only way to do that is to repeat this move with a piece that we don't want in there, if that makes any sense. So once again, away, down, back, and up, and then to replace that piece, away, down, back, and up. And now there's a piece with the yellow in it, and now we've replaced that with this piece right here that has no yellow in it. Now we've done our job. So we've got a piece in the bottom row we can use. Bring it over here to where we're going to do, and once again there's the blue side, away, down, back, and up, and away, down, in, and up. Now let's go ahead and finish this side right here. So here's another piece. Doesn't have yellow in it, and that's the one we need because all of these pieces have yellow. So again, we're going to replace that piece with this one. Away, down, back, and up. Away, down, back, and up. And there we are. We've got that piece in the lower. We just got to find it now. There it is. Green and orange. Green, orange. Away, down, back, up. Away, down, back, and up. And there we are. Now you have all of the 2 top rows solved. And now we need to solve the bottom. And this is where these algorithms start. And this is where I want to teach you my methods to remember these. Now there's going to be a lot of different things that you're going to run into. Just like we ran into the top here and we solved the top X first, now we're solving here. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to solve the bottom X first. And now you can see we have these 4, and they're actually in line. These 2 are in line. But that's normally not going to be the case. So what you're going to have one of 4 different scenarios that are going to happen. You're going to either have just this yellow one in the center. You're going to have an L piece like this, ignoring that. You're going to have an L piece like this. You're going to have a straight line of these 3 together, or you might be lucky and you'll have all of them solved. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this cube so that it only has the one in the middle, because that is the worst case scenario. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. Okay, so here's more like a worst case scenario deal where we don't have the L, we don't have the line, and we don't have the cross. All we have is this one in the middle, ignoring anything else that's in there. So the algorithm that you're going to see to get this, it can be at any position at this point, which is good. And what it is the face Doesn't matter which face you use when it's just a dot. And this is how I remember it. Clockwise, 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 then right. Counterclockwise, counterclockwise, and counterclockwise. A lot of people say up right, up left, this and that, whatever. Well, to me, it's much easier to remember when I'm turning clockwise and when I'm not, especially when it's 3 clockwise in a row. So now, what that has done, that has created this L-shaped piece like I talked about. Now, there are some things you need to remember here, because I don't care who you are, there is memorization that comes in with solving a cube. I don't know anyone who can just stare at it and just instantly solve it without some sort of memorization here. So what you're going to have to memorize, again, another one of the things, just like, you know, away, down, in, and up, is just like here, that the right side is normally where we're going to be focusing on with a lot of these things. So once again, we're going to focus on the right side. This L-shaped piece right here, we want this pointing to the right-hand side. So we're going to repeat the exact same maneuver. Clockwise, 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 and then the right. Counterclockwise, counterclockwise, counterclockwise. And now that has created this line. This is the last step that you'll see before all 4 are solved. Once again, we want to make it so that it's pointing to the right. Pretty much everything that we'll do to solve this bottom, we're going to be focusing on, again, the right hand side. So if you ever remember, is it supposed to point to the left, to the right, whatever, just keep right. So straight line, pointing to the right. Of course, I know it's pointing to the left too, but I'm just saying it's good for my memory anyways, hopefully for yours. Again, clockwise, 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 and then right. Counterclockwise, counterclockwise, counterclockwise. And now we have the top solved. Now they're not in line with where they need to be. That's the next step. But we do have this top solved, and now is your cue to move on to the next round. Now what we're going to do is we're going to solve these so that they're directly in line with where they need to go. Now it's always good to take a little bit of a twist and try to see if we can at least get 2 that are aligned. So we turn this once. We're going to see that these are aligned, but these are not. You're going to have a couple different scenarios here. You're either going to have one where all 4 are perfect, and you'll be lucky. You'll have one like this where there's 2 that are aligned right next to each other, or you will have them where these 2 are solved and these 2 aren't. The one where they're apart from each other, you'll actually have to do this algorithm twice. But in this instance, because we have them here, you just have to do it once. And so what we're going to do, these 2 pieces right here are already solved. We're going to have the non-solved pieces facing to the right and us. To the right again. Okay, and now, right hand side, once again, focus on the right. Right up. Spin this twice. Doesn't matter which way you spin it twice, because whether you spin it twice this way, you spin it twice this way, it's still going to be the exact same thing. Always keep that in mind, because a lot of these people will say a specific way to turn it. If you're spinning twice, it's always going to be in the same spot. So, I'm sorry, I just wanted to mention that. We'll repeat again. Up, spin twice. Down, spin, up, spin, down. And now you'll see that they're not in line. It requires one more spin at the top, and all of these will be lined up. So we're going to repeat that again so that you get it. I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to find 2 that are aligned. Here we are. And 2 that are not aligned are going to face to the right and to us. Focus on the right. Up, spin, spin, down, spin, up, spin, it's in line again now, and down. You'll know it's correct because the bottom will be solved. And then you can see these aren't aligned. One more time, puts them all back in line. Now we have all of these solved. Okay, so of course the last thing to do is to get these corners solved. And this involves 2 different algorithms. The first one is to place them in the correct spot. For instance, this right here has green, red, and yellow, and it should have green, orange, and yellow, so that is not in the correct spot. This one, again, not the correct spot. This one is blue, yellow, and red. This one actually is in the correct spot. Of course, it's not aligned properly, but it's in the correct position. This one right here, again, not the correct position. So, what we're going to do, again, we're going to keep everything to the right. One of the things about solving the cube to always remember, keep everything to the right. This is solved to the right. Now, in order to position them differently, we're going to go up, clockwise, up, counterclockwise. See, they're aligned now. Down. See this white one? And bring it. We're going to put this all back in line. That's another thing too, not just to go ahead and remember all the time the algorithms themselves, but see actually what you're doing, because we could see that we were putting those back in position right there. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you again. I just mixed the cube up again, so to show you it one more time. So here we are again. We're found one. This is actually completely aligned correctly. We're going to find this. We're going to keep it to the right, bottom right, right to you. And again, I want you to see what we're doing actually here to understand. Up, clockwise, up, counterclockwise. Look, it's coming back. Down, bring it back again, and down. We're keeping those white ones aligned. So that's something, if you can't remember the algorithm all the time, not all of it fully, you can at least see what we're trying to accomplish. And then we got to turn this back one more time to keep everything back in line again. And now what you're going to see is that some of these have changed position. This is correct, in the correct position. This is still not in the correct position. This one right here is in the correct position. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, this is not either. It's green. I'm looking through the camera here. And this is not in the correct position. So we just need to do what we did again. And that's the good thing about these algorithms, is if you keep going, then you'll eventually get it where you want it to get. So again, right, front, up, clockwise, up, counterclockwise. And that's in line. Bring it back down. The white's in the bottom. Bring this one back and back down. That one, I didn't explain everything. I just was showing you what was going on. So now, I need to turn this one more time to make us back in line again. And now we're going to see that these are in the correct position. This has yellow, red, and blue. Perfect. This one's aligned perfectly. This one, yellow, orange, and green. And this one again is aligned perfectly. So now we have them all in the correct spot. And we're pretty lucky we even have these in the correct spot. In this instance, there's no need to worry. But normally what you would want to do is you want to have all of the incorrect pieces facing your right. Now this is the most longest and complicated algorithm, and I would suggest getting up to this phase as many times as you can before learning this last one, because it involves an algorithm on the right and then an identical algorithm on the left. And so this is what we're going to do. Up. Again, I'm sorry, with the pieces, the incorrect pieces on the right. Up. Spin twice. Down. Spin. Up. Spin. Down. This is almost identical to the algorithm that we used a little bit earlier when we were moving these corner pieces in the correct position. Now we have to do the same thing though to this side. So up, spin, spin, down, spin, up, spin, line them up and down. Now you can see that it's changed these positions, and now right here this is going to tell me that I only need to do this algorithm one more time, because these yellow ones are facing me like headlights. So again, we keep the incorrect pieces to the right. After this, our cube will be solved. Up, spin twice, down, spin, up, spin, down, and then on this side, up, spin twice, down, spin, up, spin, down. Now our cube is 100% solved. Now a lot of people don't explain, but that algorithm, like I just told you, is the same as the one that we used earlier. I brought us back to here again on purpose to show you this, because a lot of people have a hard time remembering that last algorithm, and it really is the same as this one here when we have the cross solved, but we're looking to align these and we can't get them aligned. If you remember, we had these in the upper right and the ones that were facing us and to the right. This algorithm right here, where it is up, spin, spin, down, spin, up, spin, and down. That same algorithm is the one that we use at the very end when we're aligning these four together. Very important to remember that. That way it'll help at least save you from trying to remember another algorithm when you know you've already memorized that one. The only difference is you need to do it to both sides. So I'm going to get back to where we need to go to show you one more time. So I've got us again to where we need the last algorithm. Just to remember again, it's just like when we're solving for the cross and we're aligning these, except we just keep any incorrect ones to the right, and it is up, spin twice, down, spin, up, spin, and down. And then the exact same thing on this side, up, spin twice, down, spin, up, spin, down. Now keep any incorrect pieces to the right. Again, up, spin twice, down, spin, up, spin, down. I like to do these counterclockwise and then clockwise. The left, clockwise, up, spin twice, down, spin, up, spin, down. And now, incorrect pieces to the left. I'm sorry, correct pieces to the left, incorrect pieces to the right. Again, up, counterclockwise twice, down, spin, up, spin, down. Now on the left, we're going to spin clockwise, up, spin twice, down, spin, up, spin, down. Headlights facing us, one last turn, up, counterclockwise, down, spin, up, spin, down. Left, we're going to go clockwise, up, spin twice, down, spin, up, spin, down. I hope that this helps you remember the algorithms a little easier, because I had some difficulty when I was learning to solve the cube. And a last fun note, here's a way to get a checkerboard on the cube. Spin twice, turn it, spin twice, and again facing this, spin twice, and that gives you a nice checkerboard effect on the cube. Of course, easy enough to fix again. Spin twice, and twice. Thanks for watching, and good luck to you guys. I hope it helped.